All right. I have a question for you. This is something that's really bothered me, and I put a post up about this the other day, and I want some feedback. So, real recently, there was this recall with this swimming pool, an above ground swimming pool. It was built in 2002, so a while ago, a couple decades ago, and they've had 5 million of these bad boys being sold here in the US and in Canada. The part of the recall, why it's being issued, is that the swimming pool, it has this little strap that goes around it, and little kids are able to step up onto it. And some kids have like tipped over into the pool and they've drowned. And it's really sad because 9 children from 2007 to 2022 have died. And these kids are like real little kids. We're talking like toddlers, right? So kids like under the age of 3 or so. And so these kids, they're stepping up onto it and somehow their bodies tip over and it's just, oh my gosh, it's sad. The part that I want to know from you is with the recall, I feel like, why did it take so long? And granted, maybe immediately people didn't connect the dots of this is the problem, or, is this, I don't know what starts a recall, but if I were a manufacturer, if I were a creator of a product and I knew, and maybe they don't know right away, but if I knew that someone had died using my product, I would look to see what are we doing wrong, or what can we do better? What can we make that's safe? And that's my perspective. I do think that parents, and in all instances, you're responsible for your children, right? But we don't know the circumstance of those 9 children. And, there's some children who are very susceptible to being in danger, like children, for example, some special needs kids tend to go towards water a lot. And that's a real problem, right? It's a real concern. And granted, those parents, they're aware of their children's habits and stuff, but things happen. Or maybe a child was in the care of someone else, a family member or a babysitter, and just something didn't connect. Or maybe someone was overwhelmed, or a kid got outside, or someone was asleep, or I don't know the situation. And I do think that people should take responsibility for themselves. And, I put a post up and people were like, well, parents should be responsible. And I get that. Some people were like, well, should we just take away all swimming pools? Because that's a problem. It's kind of like the thought of, guns and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, my take on the pool thing, trying not to be political, but I'm just like, the recall, in my view, probably should have happened sooner. But I don't know all the things that lead into that and what takes to issue a recall and how it's reported to a manufacturer. But it was sold in quite a number of places, like Amazon and Walmart and Target and Lowe's and all these different places. So, pool safety is important. I've talked about it on the news before. You need, if you have a pool above or in ground, having a gate and, covers and all these things to make sure that it's protected. Kids, your family, other people, pets, all the things. Like, there's just so many. It's a big responsibility. I have zero desire to have a swimming pool at our home because of maintenance. It costs a lot. And I just don't think that the benefit of having a pool, which would be nice, but I don't know if it would be worth it for our family. We're fortunate to be near a pool that's being maintained and it's protected and everything and safe for our community. And we appreciate that. We don't mind going to other swimming pools too, because we feel safe, because we're prepared. We're in that moment. But I feel horrible to think that 9 children had to have died to lead to this recall, because I feel like they're all like guinea pigs, essentially, in my view. But what's your take on it? And maybe there's no person to blame. I'm not saying like that manufacturer, that they were the number one problem here, but I just wish that recall would have been issued sooner, because I feel like that should have been done. Nine children, little kids, should not have been the cost of what led to this. But the good thing is that the recall does make things safer and manufacturers reflect and all that stuff. So I guess in some sense, that's the good that's come from this, but that's just a horrible good. Like, 9 children should not have died. So that is the hill I'm willing to stand on here in that story. That's just my perspective though, but it sucks, So be safe. If you have a swimming pool and all that, definitely, like I said, gates and protection and life raft. The other day we were swimming with our littlest and all of our kids, but she was in this floaty and I'm right beside her. I mean, like, I have her hand, or I'm right beside her. I didn't have her hand when this happened, but she tipped over in this thing and she flipped over and just And I'm like, it was so scary because I mean, I'm just right there and I swooshed her right back. But I'm like, she doesn't have the instincts as a 2-year-old to kick her legs or to signal. But I mean, drowning is often silent and subtle, and we just don't. And had I not been there to witness it and everything, she could have easily drowned. But I just flipped her right back up, checked her. She's fine. She's been fine. It's happened many, many, many days ago. But it scared me because it brought the reality of how fast things can happen. And so, and maybe that's what happened to those 9 kids. I don't know, but that sucks. So, anyway, just thought I wanted to share with you.